right, so I'm Jay Theis. I'm a professor of political science at Lone Star College and the director of the Center for Civic Engagement for Kingwood, and I am a Fulbright scholar. It was something that had always sort of been hiding in the back of my mind. I was familiar with Fulbright scholars. We'd known some when I was growing up in Korea. It's a prestigious award. It's a great honor. I mean, Fulbright is one of the most recognized fellowships that you can get. It's named after William J. Fulbright, former senator from Arkansas. But I think my work at the Center for Civic Engagement has helped. I think all the teaching awards and writing awards that I've received here really put my application in a different light. And then the letters of recommendation I got from colleagues were also helpful. I had applied for a sabbatical to simply go for a 2-week visit to Korea. And I was scheduled for I think it was the fall of 2020. Well, in March of 2020, COVID hit. And so my sabbatical, there was no international travel, so my sabbatical was postponed to the next year. Well, COVID continued, so that allowed me in last September of 2021 to say, since my sabbatical's postponed, I might as well apply for that Fulbright. So I went ahead in the fall and applied for the Fulbright, knowing my sabbatical was extended to next spring. So I went through the application process. The hardest part was finding a college in Korea. So I had to use some of my contacts in the Korean community to locate a college that would allow me to come teach. It's a good deal for them because there's no cost to them. I grew up there in the 60s and 70s. It was at that time a developing country, very rural when I was very young, and it began its sort of modernization process while I was there. It's been almost 30 years since I've been back. And so I'm really interested to see how the country has changed, because now, the influence of Korea in the United States can't be underestimated. Every semester I have students that are teaching themselves Korean. Students who are going to see BTS or who watch Korean soap operas. And it's interesting because when I came to the States to go to college in 1980, I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was no place to get Korean groceries, So I'd actually bring a big jar of kimchi with me from Korea. And if you know what kimchi is, you'd think it's crazy to bring that on a plane, risk of breaking it. But it was, like my little piece of home. So I'd bring the kimchi with me and eat Korean food in the States. I learned to cook it. Well, now you can go down to Super H Mart and you can get everything Korean. There's a huge amount of changes over the last 30, 40 years in the United States in regards to the influence of Korea, from our cell phones to cars to televisions. And I'm just really interested to see how Korea has changed, because I know it's a very different country than the place I grew up in. There was not a McDonald's in Korea when I was growing up there. Now, there's probably as many McDonald's per square mile as there are in the States. So that influence goes both ways, and I think it'll be interesting to see. I want to reacquaint myself with things, and in seeing how things have changed, sort of learn from that. So for instance, South Korea now has a national health care system, something it didn't have before, and see how they did that and look at the politics of South Korea. The other thing, though, I really see this as an opportunity, because one of the things I would like to do is develop a study abroad program. And so working with the schools in Korea, I think I can spend that time to develop a really interesting 2-week sort of study abroad trip to Korea for our students, and so our students could expand their horizons as well. Also, I think it's really important for among academics to have this sort of academic exchange where you see how other people are doing it, they see how we're doing it, and that helps build understanding. We can learn from how other people, other countries handle higher education. So there's a lot of learning like that that can go on.